Welcome to My Love of Life Energy. I'm Anna Scott, your host. I love beautiful, rich conversations that reveal the truth, beauty, and uniqueness of each person I meet, and I'm honored to share them with you. Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And today I have the great honor of introducing two people who I've met once but fell madly in love with. And I'm like, oh my God, these guys are genius. They are successful and they embody what they teach. And so with great honor, I have Nathan Kleiner and Behrang Pakzad from Grizzly Peak Advisors with me today. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
It's a very generous intro.
Well, it's true. And it's rare that I meet somebody and immediately go, you guys are successful. You embody success in the sense of what you're producing and what you've done. And I'm curious how you guys see success and how you've gotten so good at it.
Well, this is Nathan speaking. I think that, I don't think it's for us to tell other people what success is, right? And I think it can be different for different people, but feeling like a sense of accomplishment and also feeling like you're gaining rewards from what you're doing feels like successful to me. So I think what we do is kind of business advising and consulting for small businesses. And I think when we're working with clients, like what we want them to feel like is that they're feeling good about why they started their business, that feels like success.
Behrang, what's success for you?
Yeah, I think similar to what Nathan was describing, the accomplishments are part of it. The benefits from doing what you're doing are part of it, but also just fulfilling your internal needs and feeling like, okay, this is something I want to do. I enjoy doing this and I'm happy to be doing it. I think all of that categorizes what success looks like.
How did you guys get here to starting a consulting business together? Because you each had your own business that was successful but different.
Yeah. We both do kind of this pro bono volunteer work in terms of mentoring aspiring entrepreneurs and small business people. And we met through that program. I was giving a presentation on, on e-commerce.
Yeah.
And then Behrang chatted me up, and then we realized, oh, we live right next to each other. There's a lot of similarities. We know some of the same people. And then we started getting coffee together and just kind of kept coming up with this idea that Behrang really had, which was like, there's consulting and advising at this major mega corporation level. And then there's kind of like business coaching but there's not really like help for people who run small businesses from people who've been there and done it. So that's the kind of origin story, if you will. And we quickly connected, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have this common ethos of people first and practical support. So with that as our backgrounds, we joined forces to bring that to other small business owners. I often say it's a resource that I wish I had access to when I was running my business. And with that as kind of our back pocket, we created Grizzly Peak Advisors.
When you say people first, what does that, when I hear you guys speak, and this is why I wanted to have you on the show, is I feel how much you care. Like there's a palpable care about the human being you're with. It's not just about the numbers, it's about the human being and the numbers. So what does people first mean to you?
Yeah, I think it shows our philosophy of walking alongside business owners, supporting them through their journey rather than the theoretical idea of here's what you should change, here's what would look different for you, and kind of leaving you on your own. That's opposite of how Nathan and I tend to operate. We like leading together and being part of their growth process. And so that's kind of what the people first practical support approach comes from.
What's people first for you, Nathan?
I think it's honesty and integrity. Like when you were asking that to Behrang and Behrang was talking, I was thinking of this conversation that Behrang and I were having this morning about a potential client who has a business, and I think we both have some concerns about working with this client, not because of who they are. We'd love to work with them, but because of their business, and it's about, we're trying to figure out how can we have integrity in terms of working with this person, but also making sure we're doing the best by them, right? And that we don't want to lead them down a path when we have some doubts or concerns about the business model, for example, when we don't know that they're ready to change that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth telling and uncomfortableness.
Totally.
Like, I bet it doesn't feel fun to say to somebody, I don't think we're a good fit.
Totally. Yeah. And I think what we don't want to do is get in a process where we've engaged and we're halfway down the road and realize that, right? So it's, we offer everyone like, hey, we've both had success in business before. Like we'll chat with you for free. Like we'll give you an hour of our time. But sometimes we're like, we need another hour for free. And like to really get a sense of, is this going to work? And like, are you open to hearing some things that maybe you weren't ready to hear, weren't expecting to hear, and maybe we can learn some things that we weren't ready or expecting to hear.
Wow, that's beautiful. So do you work with, in small businesses, do you have co-owners of a business at time that you work together? Or do you always have like in a business, like there's
we have clients right now who are co-owners of, of a business. I'm protecting client identities, but yes.
No. So I'm curious, I don't know you two, but it seems to me, this is Anna Scott making up a great story based on my short experience of you, that there's a lot of respect and honoring of each other for the gifts that you bring. Is that true? And how does that impact how you two show up as a business owners together? How does your model of being business owners together impact other people as business model owners?
Yeah, I can say with a lot of clarity that there's a deep level of trust between Nathan and myself. I think there's a lot of complementary skills in addition to the fact that we have these shared values. And so this package works very well. There's this good cop, bad cop kind of a mentality that comes along with that. And I think, having these skills in different areas, from being good in strategy, being good in leadership, being good in operations, and all of this comes together to support our clients, is what's unique about working with the Grizzly Peak team.
I think I would love to jump in, and I think one of the reasons we started this was, as we were getting those coffees and getting to know each other, we started kind of talking openly about what are our skill sets. And we even did like an exercise where we kind of listed out the things we are good at, the things we know we're not good at, and then also the things we like doing and the things we don't like doing. So there can be things you're good at, but you don't like doing, right? And those things fit really well together. So that's from like the skills level in terms of being co-owners or partners, whatever you want to call us. But also in the personality aspect that Behrang was getting at, we're very different in a way that complements each other. Like Behrang, I have this immense respect and almost jealousy for Behrang in that Behrang's like one of those people where he can walk into a room and he's like that light, that orb in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I walked into his room one day.
Totally, and I'm like not that, and I'm okay. Like it's just that's who I am. And so I think that's another way of like, I'm kind of like the glass half empty, let's get down into the hard truths. And Behrang is this like um very like inspiring kind of like Behrang is the coach you want in terms of like getting you ready to run into battle, right?
It's great.
And what's the Nathan, the kind of coach you want for?
I don't know if we should go into this battle, you guys.
Nathan's like, we need a little more armor and weaponry before.
Yeah,
engaging.
let's think a little more. Let's make some plans. Let's think if this is really the right idea for us.
No, I think again, being the yin yang and the good cop, bad cop, I think Nathan has this great ability of practicality, right?
Mm.
So when there's this Behrang side of things that may be more cheerleading and excitement and enthusiasm to be supportive, Nathan has the other side of the pulse that says, hey, like we should look at this from a different lens as well. And I think these two methods come together very seamlessly.
So I'm so curious. You guys are talking about it so neutrally. And in most relationships, it would bug each other, like it would be each other's. And how do you work with and honor each other's differences? Because the way you're holding and speaking about it, I see that you do. And there's a deep value for it and need for it.
I think there's definitely differences, right? Like I referenced earlier, like a call we were having, and like we like our innate selves probably have different approaches, right? I think it's two things. I think it's one, trust in it. Like I trust Behrang's intelligence and his experience in the path he's taken and all the things he's learned and done along the way. And I think the flip side of that is like checking yourself, right? And that like I feel like we often enter a conversation or one of these things with like, listen, I know what the plan is here. Like I know what the right thing is. And having that open mind where, I'm like, wait a minute, like Behrang is approaching this differently. And like is a good chance he has the better way.
Yeah. And to echo some of that, I think there's definitely a need for adaptability. And I definitely rely on Nathan's insight and his take on all of our clients, because without his approach to things, I would lead in one direction, and Nathan's got a different lens, which is incredibly beneficial. And so I think, like I mentioned, the two sides coming together to kind of navigate this ship tends to work well.
I would think what I'm hearing from my perspective is the richness and uniqueness and honoring of each other makes your business and other people's businesses much more effective because you do honor each other's perspective. Is that true?
Yeah. I think you nailed it.
Yeah. Well, I think another like honoring each other's perspective, I think what we're really just talking about is like listening, right? And like active listening and like maybe hearing, right? I'm just using synonyms now. Yeah, I think what we do in terms of client work is like we have to balance like what we think is best, but like hearing and listening to what their perspective is and what they really want out of their business. Like, what do they want it to be? And sometimes it's also like there are words that they're saying that they want their business to be or things that they fix. And then we kind of do a little diving deep and having some more conversations. And we realize maybe they actually mean something different than what they're talking about.
Yeah, that happens frequently. And I think maybe one like big picture look at the two of us together is that we have these backgrounds that are supportive for our clients, and through our different approaches, we are able to tap into this unique team and support who we're trying to support. So we have a toolbox that can kind of solve whatever task needs handling.
Your website, I had website envy when I looked at you. And this is where I say it's embodied. Your message is so clear, what you do and how you do it. And that to me is like where I say, go to somebody who's done it. Like you can learn somebody from Spanish, but who's never spoken it, or you can go learn it from somebody who actually speaks it. And your website is a very clear, intentional message. And I'm like, how did you guys come to that? Like, is that just your nature?
Well, I can tell you, Nathan's very good at that. He's very good at it. He's very good at being concise, straight to the point. There were times when he said, there's just too much words. There's too much to read. We're going to lose people's focus and attention. He designed it. He put it together. And I agree with you, Anna. I think it's very good.
I mean, it is. I really did. I was like, oh my God, this is where I say the embodiment of success. If you're going in to teach people how to have a clear message so their clients can find them, it's like, oh yeah, I know how to do it. Here it is. This is what it can look like. But now let's make it yours is what I'm feeling. Like, don't copy me, but let's make it, the intention's there, but let's make it yours is my, does that make sense?
Totally. I mean, one thing we talk to clients about a lot is like, what's your unique value proposition, right? And like, okay, you're you have a Pilates studio, right? You're not the first person to come up with a Pilates studio, right? What makes your Pilates studio different? And like, that is where I think what both of you are talking about with being clear and concise in your messaging, it's like you figure out what makes yours different. And also, how do you message that effectively and clearly? And that's something we want to practice. And so it's lovely to hear that you kind of see that in our website, but also that we want to show clients and help them achieve.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'd want for every small business owner to be thriving with clarity, confidence, and a balance. And through our approach, that's our goal every time.
I'm so curious what you guys are seeing about small business and what you're seeing happening in the current market and what's going on. Am I being clear in my question? Because I have an opinion and a desire, but I wanted to hear from what you guys see.
Can you tell us your opinion?
I think there's going to be a renaissance. I think that my dream is that there's going to be, I imagine towns filled with small business owners again, that are craftspeople that are really bringing their heart. And it's a much richer experience rather than this mass market big box thing.
Yeah. I think there is an explosion of people who are inspired or have been inspired to start their own business in their own craft, right? It's like basically making a living based on something they both love to do and feel confident that they're good at doing. I think kind of the pandemic maybe helped bring that on in some way, shape, or form, but whatever the cause, like I feel like that is happening. And so it's great to see like there's so many tools and options for people now. It's like so much easier in some ways than it's ever been to start your own business. The flip side of that is there are so many people doing it, so it's hard to stand out. And I think the core of what we try to do in working with clients is like, we think about there's so many people who start a business because they're good at what they do. They're substantively good at what they do. Like, I mean, we could talk about someone who's good at being a blacksmith, right? They can go back millennia. But just because you're good at being a blacksmith doesn't mean that you're good at running a blacksmith operation, right? And so I think that's how we try to empower people and say, like, let's make you a really good blacksmith, but let's make you, just as importantly, really good at running a blacksmith shop.
Mm.
Anna,
Brian,
I was just going to say, I love your idea of the future of small businesses and this town that's thriving. And I want to move to this town. So when you find the location, tell me. I think to answer your question, some of the challenges that small business owners face now that we see is actually quite a bit of isolation, where they maybe don't have the right sounding boards to help grow their business, and so they get locked into a smaller network than they should have. Then there's a lot of struggling with operations and execution, like Nathan's blacksmith model. Really good at being a blacksmith, but they didn't go to business school to be a blacksmith. And so now they have to continue being a good blacksmith while learning how to run the actual business. And that's where Nathan and I come in and show them what it's like to wear multiple hats and how to prevent burning out and help kind of untangle that web a little bit.
what have you found for people? I mean, I guess your own experience when you had you made it and you had a thriving own business. What was that like? What's it like to see other people like really start to thrive?
It's funny. I don't know if there's ever a you've made it moment, or you've in business, as you guys are aware, you just kind of go. It's like it's just a routine, and you kind of go through this same schedule and day-to-day operation. I think oftentimes outside influences kind of force or create this time that says, okay, now this feels like the right time, whether that's a benchmark of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in the business, or if there's a shift in family structure. Those are the type of outside things that lead to, okay, the timing is right. If you've run a successful, clean, structured operation during that time, when it's time to shift to a different position, that's when that moment comes up and says, man, I did pretty good at this, and I'm happy where things are.
Yeah. I can also see a perspective where it's like there are many like, oh, I made it moments, right? Which is that you think, you hit that first kind of goal maybe that you've set for yourself, and you think, I made it, and you didn't really know how many more levels there were above that you can get to. Like I remember feeling some of that when I started my business and the company grew and grew into things that I didn't really foresee in any realistic way, which is fun and also like very anxiety producing, because you're like, oh, now what? Now what? Right. But that's the journey.
You just triggered something that I didn't. Do you bring to your clientele, like they get to a level and then you go, oh, by the way, there's 3 more doors you could get to?
What's fun is they talk about, what we tell them is like good problems, right? Is like, if this happens and it works, and like we all kind of make it there together, then you're going to have some more problems, but those are good problems to have, right? And then you figure out how to get there. So that's the way I think we communicate or talk about, or that's the way it most often comes up in client work.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I do know good problems. Like I really believe in that. And it must be so fun to watch people get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's not just fun, but it's rewarding. I mean, you get a sense of pride and excitement, seeing your clients kind of take a step to another level, and you feel, motivated to continue that journey.
Is it like children, having children, watching them grow up?
Yeah, it's like sending them off to college. It's a, equal parts excitement, equal parts reflective, and just excitement. Yeah.
So what's the biggest challenge you guys are having in your business right now? Where's your growth edge?
I think it's making sure that client fit is good, right? And making sure that we're finding clients that are ready and willing to kind of do some of the work alongside us, right? I think sometimes people want to hire a business coach or advisor and then they think that that's all they needed to do, right? And that they just show up to talk and then there's nothing like, and it's going to just happen, right? um, so that when that happens, it's like, oh, we have to have these honest conversations about like, we're doing as much as we can and we need you to do that. We need you to like meet us there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think joining the journey is an important step. And so again, leading side by side and walking the path together helps build that accountability, helps build that level of growth. And Nathan and I are engaged with our clients the entire way.
I really get a sense of return on investment. Like you guys are not a cost, you're an investment in themselves and their business. And really see like it's such a no-brainer of an investment.
We hope so.
That's great.
I mean, I'm saying it, I feel it. I'm like, oh my God. It really feels like somebody who's walked the path to have them walk with you so that you can see the wall I'm about to hit.
Yeah. And I'll share with you something that Nathan actually told me way like when we were very first meeting and very first engaging and starting discussions about joining Grizzly Peak Advisors, creating Grizzly Peak Advisors. He said something that still resonates. He said he enjoys listening and learning about small business owners. And, I think that's stuck with me this whole time that this is something that we're not doing this out of a need. We're not doing this out of a necessity, but it's something that he's passionate about. And I think that passion rubs off. It motivates me. I think our clients see it. And so there's a difference between business coaches or owners that are out to, strike a profit other than the other side, which is more, we're here to strike a reward for our clients.
I can feel it in you that you're coming, what I would say is you're coming from a place of love or interest. My word is love, because when you care about, if you're interested, behind that to me is love.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's not a neediness. Like you don't need to do this, you love to do it and want to do it. And I think that's a huge differentiator.
My neediness is the need to just ask a million questions because like that's what I love doing is I'm just so curious like of anyone who's like has any sort of business and I just want to know like everything about it. How did you start this? Like how's it going? And then like with every answer I can come up with 5 more questions. And I think that's what Behrang was getting at in this.
Well, that's what I hear then, how you find out what their unique
value
proposition is.
Yeah.
I just found out how you do it is you ask a million questions. And how do you know when you've heard it?
Sometimes there's a look that Behrang and I give each other on a Zoom call where we're like, they don't know that they got there, but we know they got there. And we got to stop them and say, that's it, like that's the thing. And oftentimes, like, I think we probably both experienced this in our own ways as business owners is like, when you're operating your business, it's hard for you to have like the perspective you need to identify those kind of bigger picture things, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what's helpful. I think Behrang often says, and he's totally right, is like we both wish we had us when we were running our businesses.
Yeah. Great. Well, we are coming to the end of our time, which is the fastest 30 minutes. And totally. I knew it would be good. So if there was one thing you wanted to share with people who are starting a business, or one message you want to close with, what would be each of your messages?
Go for it. Plan it out. Like, think about what I always tell people is like, a good business idea is one that kind of haunts you, like it won't go away. And if you think about all the reasons why it might not work, and they all come down, the reasons they might not work should all come down to basically execution, right? And that like it just won't work because if it doesn't work, it didn't work because you didn't do it right, you know? But those are all things that are within your power that you can address, right?
Beautiful. Behrang?
Yeah, no, that was pretty well said. I would add to it, find what is your internal motivator. What is your drive, your reason to do it? And it doesn't necessarily have to be the topic of the business or anything. It could be a family member. It could be whatever motivates you and drives you, and harvest that, use that as your steam in your sail.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you. So if anybody's listening to this and you know somebody who wants small business advisors, I can't recommend these guys enough. Grizzly Peak Advisors, everything will be on the website, et cetera, with this podcast. But thank you guys so much. It's been an honor to sit with you and listen.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anna.